We've got Heather Zahn from Denver Health and Ania.
Alex, thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming out here with us, man. This is a wonderful day. I think you've had a wonderful week. Talk to us about that week you had.
Yeah, so I've just been meeting a lot of people trying to promote our ANIA conference is the American Nursing Informatics Association. The conference is in Boston on March 26th through the 28th. I'm currently president-elect for that organization and will be president for next year when we are in San Francisco. So trying to meet a lot of people and find speakers and
Look,
all of that.
I might know a nurse.
Yeah.
She's pretty good at speaking
Yeah.
that you might want to have on. This is her wheelhouse for today. I'm just a guest.
Whatever.
Amazing. Nurses make the world go around in healthcare.
Yeah, they absolutely do. And Heather and I actually met a couple of years ago through a mutual friend while we were at another conference. And so I had an opportunity to hear all about the great work that you're doing, but I really want the viewers also to hear about the things that are exciting at Denver Health and what's lighting you up inside.
Yeah, I think so. I'm here while my team is doing a large upgrade and implementing a new module for Epic. So I guess I'm somewhat lit up by the fact that they're just plugging along and doing their thing.
Yeah,
sounds like everything's stable. So we have so many different things going on. We are a safety net hospital, so we're ahead of the curve in some things and behind the curve in other things. And so
it's normal.
Some of what is coming with us is trying to actually start with virtual nursing, starting with virtual sitters. And so that is starting to kick off. We're doing a lot with predictive models and things like that.
So interesting, Heather. So we had a couple of guests on yesterday. One talked about the ambient, another one talked about virtual sitting, another one talked about predictive modeling. And so it sounds like you all are really starting to deploy the tools that, which is super, super cool.
Yeah.
So is there anything that's happening right now as far as current situation with regulatory or financial? Where are you feeling some real headwinds there?
I think being a safety net, we are sort of on guard, right. About how things are going to be financially in terms of reimbursement. But one of the things that I love about our institution is that we are really good at innovating, right? To be able to continue to care for our patients and make sure that we adjust to be able to continue to support them. So we have a really active government affairs department in our hospital. So they work on advocating for our hospital as well as our patients, both at the state government level, but then also at the federal level. And so I think that helps us as employees to know that at least there's a voice out there making sure that if we can influence in any way, we are. So otherwise they're saying, keep doing what you do and we'll adjust as we need.
Let's bring it down one more level. So that nursing voice. How is that nursing voice involved in Denver Health on the technology and the operational side? Is that integrated as a part of the operations of Denver Health?
It is. So my role is over a number of teams that are really interdisciplinary. And so I find myself and my team, which is a team of nurses, pharmacists, IT people, all different kinds of people. So we end up at the cross section of all of that, right? We're at the cross section of technology and operations and being able to say, hey, nurses, I hear you have this problem. This is a technology solution that we believe can help your staff. But then also, again, being at the crossroads, we are able to advocate in some different ways to make sure that operational voices are being heard.
So important.
because sometimes that gets lost in leadership.
Yeah,
right?
it does. So tell me, do you have like a governance model that you run this all through, or what does that structure look like?
Yes, that is one of my big topics.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't even know, but I love it. I love it.
We have sort of scattered governance structures, which is interesting.
Okay.
And we, because we are a hospital, a decently sized hospital with a number of community clinics, but we're not a big system.
Yeah.
So we've kind of been able to trudge along without like really strict governance. But as our teams continue to just have this backlog of work, because everyone wants everything right now, and everything is urgent. So we actually have been working for the last 9 months on really trying to stand up more formal governance that is structured the same way across the board versus having the haphazard sort of model. Because that's the only way to me that we can kind of, get that buy-in and prioritization at the lower levels, but then also at the higher levels where we have so many different resources that are needed.
100%.
So
100%.
I am at the phase of starting to stand up all of those meetings, partnering with my informatics colleagues and operational colleagues to make sure that we're all on the same page and getting it going.
Yeah.
So has Denver Health been impacted by the nursing shortage? Are you fully staffed, or you have availability, or how's that looking?
Yeah, I think that we faced the same thing that other organizations did during COVID in particular, where we had a lot of travelers, short-term workers. And it was interesting. I was in a doctoral program with one of my operational nurse leaders at the same time, and her work was focused on how do we decrease the travelers, increase our full-time staff.
Right, because it's very expensive.
Very expensive.
Yes.
And there was a weird dynamic with that at that time too. So she actually stood up sort of a mentorship and training program that I think really helped to boost internal staff, boost morale, and kept people, and it has kept our staffing levels, our traveler levels down.
Wow, that's nice.
Since then.
Do you know what your totals were? Your total spend was?
Oh, I do not remember that.
Yeah, I know ours was significant. In fact, in just 1 month, we would spend the amount of dollars that we spent annually on a salary. So it was not good, and it's not sustainable.
No.
And you mentioned that weird dynamic. I want to tease that out a little bit more, because I think that's important to understand as you're developing those mentorship programs, or what that path forward looks like. So tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so what I mean by that is for anyone that has staffed as a nurse and is dedicated to your organization, there's something uncomfortable knowing that one could be a young nurse, 2 years, you need like 2 years of experience, and then you qualify to take on these roles, and then you get paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
And so you, as an inexperienced nurse, come in, while I over here, as an experienced nurse dedicated to my organization, am making less money.
Right.
And so that's sort of
I like that you call that out and acknowledge it, because at the end of the day, it is the reality of what we have, and it's not right or wrong. It's just the state of where we are within healthcare. That being said, by developing that mentorship program for your staff, building that culture, giving them that path of what that career progression can look like, helps them, I'm sure, to feel as though this is home and it's inclusive.
Yes.
And so those that come in and have to augment from a staffing perspective, that's lovely. But at the same time, you all are taking care of your people.
Yes. And we see it similar things happen even on the IT side, right?
Yeah.
Right.
With
Yeah.
contractors.
100%.
And
Yes.
and so that it's I think this is where our clinical minds still are in touch with that clinical background and those sort of staffing challenges and sort of translate it even into that leader on the IT
Yeah.
side
Right.
Yeah.
to make sure people continue to feel valued.
Yeah. What are nurses thinking about AI? Because there's a lot of talk out there in terms of efficiency, and there are
Yeah.
ways that we can, of course, scale.
Yeah.
Right.
But I want to know what's your thought?
My thought is that we need to be educating nurses on
Okay.
what AI means.
Speak to
Yeah.
that audience
Yeah.
downstairs.
And I think because it's such it's a buzzword
It
right
is.
now, in my opinion, and people are like, well, I want AI, and then other people are afraid, and so it's this weird push and pull right now, I
Yeah.
think, in operations. And so I actually wrote an article that was published in January for a nursing journal that was a piece to advocate for nurses to understand what tools actually have AI integrated already
Yes.
and how they're interacting with
Yeah.
it. That it's not just about ambient, right? It's in your predictive models, it's in things like that,
Yeah.
and also advocating for them to validate the tools, because
Right.
I think
That's
that's
100%.
it's
Yes.
so huge right now that we're kind of we're kind of just throwing things in and
Hoping it works.
yeah. And also I think it's important to remind them that this does not replace their clinical judgment, right?
Right. Right.
This is an augment, but your nurse brain is still the the glue in
Yeah.
all of it.
Yeah. The greatest
So-
tool is in between
Right
your
there.
ears.
Especially
Yep.
for a nurse.
Yeah.
I know nurses um, from my background and my past, and I've been told the stories of nurses saving a life after the doctors left the room because the doctor missed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard countless stories about that. That nursing brain it should never be removed from the room,
Right.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Even if it's looking at remotely,
Mhm.
Yeah.
the nursing brain is
Yeah.
still in the room,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. We always have to have a human in the loop.
Human in
Yes.
the loop.
Human in the loop.
Yes.
And I think just emphasizing that to nurses that we're not taking any, we're trying to find the inefficient things.
Right.
Yes.
The things that people don't get excited about anyway. Like
Yeah.
I was talking to Teresa Meadows. We
Yes.
were chatting with her, and they have a tool that helps with nurse staffing. And I was like,
Yes.
oh yes, because no nurse manager is like, oh please, can I make the schedule? Nobody gets excited about that.
Yeah.
So finding ways to take off the
Yeah.
I shouldn't say not the fun stuff, but it's
Right.
not the fun stuff, and
Right.
and
Right.
free them up for the more important things they
And-
need to be doing.
100%.
I had a conversation with one of my colleagues from the University of Colorado yesterday who that made an interesting point with that, because she said their focus is on discharge, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, discharge to me is the closure with my patient.
Yeah.
I don't want that taken away from me. Yes, it is more efficient,
Yeah.
but that's wrapping it up,
Yeah.
you know.
It's finite.
And
That's
and so
beautiful.
I think that was that resonated so much to me.
Right.
Yeah. So it's something to think about for sure. Where are you focusing tools? And
Right.
I think that's where it's really important being here to talk to these companies and say, are you talking to nurses that are doing the job
Yeah.
and understanding that you're developing these tools for what they really need
Right.
versus, oh, we did this for physicians now.
Yeah.
I would say
How can the nurses benefit
Right.
from it? Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
say that we had the year of the nurse at the conferences like 2-3 years ago, right? They call it the year of the nurse. And then what? The nurse is always here, right? So the conferences they used it as a buzzword for a year.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say if the companies in front of us on this floor, the floor above us, were smart, they would convene a quorum of nurses.
Yes.
Or come to ANIA and say, I would like to have nurses
Yeah.
as a focus group.
Yes.
And we'd like to put our products in front of nurses and say, yes, no, maybe,
Mhm.
improve here, or no, that's not going to apply thanks for playing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's
exactly.
Holly,
Yeah.
thank you so much for
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for having
Appreciate
me.
you so much.
And if you learn out more about what Heather's doing, you can find her at ANIA. They've got a conference coming up March 26th through 28th in Boston.
Yep.
Where can they find you online?
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn?
Nice.
Heather's on ZUHN.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank
Heather,
you.
thank
Thank
you
you
so much
guys.
Yes.
on the show.
Oh, it was so good to see
Yeah,
you.
good to see
I
you.
know that we'll see you again. And hopefully we'll meet maybe at ANIA.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Another one of our wonderful
You
leaders,
know.
right?
I know. I absolutely love her, Mike. And I love the fact that they're doing great work at Denver Health.
Right.
And those safety net hospitals, the critical access, the rural health centers are so crucial
Right.
for not just patient care, but for the communities. And,
Right.
you know, it's part of who we are as human beings to take care of one another. So I love the work that she's doing. Always good.
It's beautiful. And I think that she is right. You need to ask the nurses, right?
Yeah.
Ask the question.
Yes.
Don't assume
Yes.
they're there. They're living it every day.
Right. Right.
I mean, I remember, when you and I first met, I'm like, oh, a nurse, tell me more.
Yeah.
But you were already on the IT side, so you understood that balance
Yeah.
and how it gets created. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So next to the stage in our show is Caitlin Taft.
Yeah.
Going backward in time again.
You know, at this point, it's day 3 of the conference. You can hear in Mike's voice. Yes, 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 yes.
Caitlin's one of our wonderful longtime friends. Come on to the show.
Come on. And this dress,
She's fabulous today.
has the best outfits
Oh, you
on,
are so
hands down, hands down.
Sweet.
Love
Caitlin's with
seeing.
Chorus, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Only ROI.
Correct.
Yes.
Yes.
But you guys have had a name change. You're wonderful, Melissa, your CEO.
Yeah.
Miss her.
I know she's
Yeah.
the best.
She's the best.
She is.
Yes.
She is.
We're glad to have you.
Says
on.
hi to both of you.
Oh,
wonderful.
Yeah.
yeah.
Hello, Melissa. We know you're watching.
Yeah.
How's the show been for you?
It's been awesome. I think it's a lot of talk about digital transformation.
Yeah.
And a lot about kind of what people can do to optimize what they currently have.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you guys have a good roadmap for 2026?
We-
Bank change. You slid into that in November.
Yeah.
It's been so awesome.
Right.
We have such a great marketing presence right now.
Yeah.
We're so excited about everything that's going on. We're working in 10 different countries, which is huge for
That
us.
is.
Countries.
Yeah,
What?
I know.
Yeah.
Women
That's
led.
beautiful.
I mean, it's been awesome. We're
It is.
really excited.
A very amazing company.
The culture, like I cannot tell you enough about the culture.
Yeah.
I think the culture, especially led with Melissa, and just the intentionality that she brings to everything she does.
Yeah.
The relentlessness of her as a person and what she's had to do to get to where she is in this male-dominated space.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's beautiful.
kudos to her,
Kudos
right?
to her.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Well, tell our viewers a little bit about Chorus and what you all do.
So we, by nature, we've been in the business for 26 years, but we are a healthcare IT consulting and staffing firm.
Okay.
Focus heavily on the EHR, modernization, implementation.
Any EHR?
Any EHR.
Okay.
Yeah, any EHR. But we focus mostly on the EHR and then, of course, strategy and execution of how we can make things work.
Yeah.
I like to say that we work from the customer backwards. Every customer has very similar problems, right?
Yes.
But at the same time, they're very similar. So it's kind of, you need to be able to move around and help them meet them where they are.
Yes. Yes.
So in meeting them where they are, talk to me about the course roadmap, the guide that you are for your clients. How do you engage them at point one? And then what do you take them through on this journey of course?
Well, I stalk them, of course.
Hey, I know your role. That's what you're supposed to do.
No, I think it's important to be able to educate, right? And,
Right.
understand what their environment
Right.
and figure out kind of where they are. Like I
Uh-huh.
said, meet them where they are. I think that's super important because, transformation as a whole is really challenging and, everybody's trying to do it. But what does that mean at the end of the day?
Right.
Right? It's like everything comes down to all leadership. Everybody in the organization needs to be on the same page.
Yes.
Right.
And people forget that.
Yes.
So I think it all comes down to priorities, right?
Yeah.
You need to educate and help them understand where that all kind of goes.
Yeah.
And then you approach it with best practices. Listen, you're trying to figure out what they actually need.
Mhm.
And you have to listen, bring your best practices, and then everything kind of works out from there.
So what are you seeing for problems? Are you seeing a theme of what's happening and you're like, listen, we are dialed in, we can help you with this?
I think right now we're seeing a huge push on, well, a couple things.
Yeah.
So internationally speaking,
Okay.
there's a huge push on EPRs, which are in our world EHRs, right?
Yes.
Medical records, all of that, patient engagement. So I think that for international clients, that's a huge focus.
Okay.
And then mobilizing resources, how they get the resources to be able to, once they decide which EPR they're going to go on, how they figure out how to get the resources there to do the work, right?
Yeah.
Because again, every country is different,
Mhm.
interoperability challenges, all of that. But at the end of the day, like the care that you're delivering to the patient is the same,
Right.
wherever you are. And then I think here in the States, we're having a couple different conversations. One being around rural and regional transformation and how people can really get the benefit of that money coming from the government. And they're the ones that are looking at tech, right? They're the ones that are trying to buy it
Right.
and figure out where they should move it and what's going to make sense for their organization because they have the money.
Right.
The other people that don't have the money becomes, okay, now I have all of this tech. How can I optimize my tech?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And now it's about, I feel like for AI anyways, it's not so much about the AI anymore because there's no clear understanding of the ROI, whether that's financially speaking
Mhm.
or operationally speaking.
Yeah.
Right? Like, but where is the ROI? Until people can see that,
Yeah.
people are done buying these shiny new objects.
I don't have the budget.
Yeah.
That's right.
Right.
Budget.
But they also need to know, like, what is this actually going to do for my
Right.
organization?
Right. Right. It's not the end all be all. It's not going to come in and somehow just magically
No.
fix everything.
Right.
So you really have to have a conversation with around what does success look like?
Right.
At the end of the day, exactly.
Yes.
Where do you want to be? Where do you
Right.
see yourself? What, in 5 years, where do you want to be?
Right.
And I think the other thing too is a challenge for a lot of people is looking at what they have now from an application standpoint
Right.
and doing like an application rationalization. The thing is that for application rationalizations, people think, oh, I don't want to do that because then you're going to look at my environment, you're going to tell me what I have to take away and why I have to take it away and what I'm spending on it. I already know what I have, right?
Yes. Yes.
But it's not about
they
that.
don't.
No.
No,
They
and it's
really
not
don't.
about that because maybe 5 years ago, an application that you were using was useful in that moment,
Mhm.
but now technology
Now it's
has
included,
changed
right?
Yes.
so much.
Yes.
It's not value added anymore.
Right. Yeah.
So
And the cost of maintaining it,
correct.
the risk of exposure by still having it. I go back to, as a woman, I always relate things back. I'm like, it's like your closet.
Yes.
You've
like
got so many
something-
things in there that you're not wearing.
Bell
Not just
bottoms
furs.
used to be awesome. Now
Yes.
they're back. But like
Yeah.
10 years ago,
Right.
for 10 years, we didn't have bell
Right.
bottoms.
Did you have to
Right.
buy bell bottoms
Right.
again?
Yes, I think I have a pair actually upstairs in my room.
Good.
You
I'm
wanna-
ready to wear.
You want to equate this to technology?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we went from data centers managed by CIOs,
Uh-huh.
CTOs, and everybody pumped everything into their data center.
Correct.
Yeah.
Then we moved to the cloud.
Yeah.
And then AI came back and people said, boy, compute sure costs a lot over in that data center.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to put the data center here.
Flip flop.
Cycle, right?
Yeah.
The flip flops
the
of technology is just
Bell bottoms of technology.
Oh, I love that.
I don't know that I've ever heard that analogy.
I really like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I was the engineering brain got on the show today right there. Well, I'm just tired. But
true.
you're right. Our world is cyclical like that. And I think that even resources,
Yeah.
you guys manage resources, right? And so people go through this cycle of, okay, I'm going to get educated up on the latest and greatest thing. And I'm going to stay here and hopefully I'll stay here and don't have to do that for a while.
Yeah.
But technology is moving so fast. You have to keep
Ebbs and flows, baby.
ebbs and flows.
Ebbs,
Yes.
Keep up
Yes.
with that education gap for you to be qualified for some of these new positions
Absolutely.
within a technical field.
Absolutely. And I think honestly with Chorus, I think that's a huge differentiator for us, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we have been in this business for 26 years. And at the end of the day, like the ebbs and flows, if we weren't doing the ebbs and flows, then we wouldn't be making it. You need to adapt and make, be able to meet everybody where they are, partners
Yeah.
included, clients, everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's hard to keep those skills up as well.
Oh, completely.
There's
Technology is changing every
and it's
day.
hard to find people.
Mhm.
So the qualifications just to come in and be able to maintain that environment,
Absolutely.
having a good partner that's able to say, listen, we have the top tier,
Absolutely.
so we can come in,
And
let
we
us
can
help
mobilize.
you.
We have
Yeah.
such global mobility that we can mobilize those resources anywhere. And I think it's important too, like we don't just, again, this is back to like Melissa, team culture, philosophy, but it's like we are not in the business of putting quantity over quality.
Right.
Good.
We are in the business of giving you the resource that not only your team needs for the project, but that the culture of your team needs.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
that's something that's missed.
Yeah.
And I think for us, I think that we really, really, pride ourselves on that.
Yeah.
And that's important, right? You want us to have a great culture, so
Absolutely.
that when people say I work for Chorus
Yes.
and get reference,
Absolutely.
talk nothing good, all good about you, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And so how do you instill that? You make sure you live it with your employees,
Every day.
and your mission,
Yeah.
and your customers, and how you engage even in the industry,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
And that's beautiful. You guys threw a party at Shine
Oh, our
Platform this
casino
year.
night.
The casino
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
That
Which was
well attended.
It was such a fun party
It
too.
was so fun.
And I bet big because it was all fake money. And I was like, man, I should really gamble professionally.
Are you
I'm
gambling?
winning all the time.
Oh my gosh.
Are you gambling here?
That's
No.
that's a big
No.
negative.
No.
I
No.
took her to the craps table for the first time
Craps
last
is my
time we were
game.
here. That's my game.
That's
So
my
maybe
game.
we'll go
Oh.
later,
Okay,
right?
we'll go. Yeah.
So this one right here, I can't lie.
Yeah.
The new Never Gamble Before is the best good luck charm
Of
ever.
course she is. Oh yeah.
She won me
How's
some
you too?
money. She won me some money.
We were on our way back and I said, Mike, I am tired and I am going to bed, but you are a big boy and you do whatever you want. And he's like, oh, no, I just need a few minutes. And I said, I will give you 10.
I only needed 7.
Yep. And then he won all that money. And I said to him, why don't you just do this for a living?
Living. Yeah. Right.
There are. They also are living on the streets.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
But
Kate,
no, appreciate you so much and everything that you're doing
Thank
for the
you.
industry. And you really are great at building those relationships
Yeah.
with all of your clients and making them feel special and very bespoke. So congratulations to you and really the entire team on what
Thank
you've
you
got
both.
going on.
Honestly, we love you guys. So thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Oh, we
Thank
love
you.
you too.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having me.
Yes,
Oh,
we can see you on the
anytime.
floor.
I know. We'll see you on the floor.
Where can they find Chorus?
Yeah.
For our audience.
Yeah.
So we have a website,
All right.
www.chorus.com, LinkedIn, and you can find me on LinkedIn.
All
Caitlin.
right. Caitlin Taft, DFT.
TRAFT.
TRAFT.
There you go.
Taft.
That's right.
I got you.
Thank you. I know you know my first name, so that's all that matters.
That's all I need. Caitlin, thank you very much.
Thank
We'll
you
see
guys.
you later today, all right?
Bye. Thank
Oh,
you so much.
love you.
Bye. Love you.
All right. Folks, we just had another one of our big ones come onto the stage to help us out
Yeah.
with our live stream today.
Yeah.
I love having our friends on that
I
are
do
doing great
too.
things in the
How
industry.
do you doing?
I love hearing their stories about how they're helping, one, the people
Mm-hmm.
who are delivering,
That's right.
because that's important. Our industry is shrinking because of AI, right? As they say, taking jobs everywhere, right? Somebody has to tell AI what to do though.
I think to a certain extent, I don't know that we have seen it on the scale that the fear exists.
I agree.
But that being said, let's take away the non-value
Mhm.
of people's job.
Right.
It's not about necessarily taking away a job. It's about you practicing to the highest scope that you have within whatever role you
100%.
are in. And if we can do that and take off some of the,
Right.
let's do
I
it.
think you have to, right?
Yeah.
If there is enough edge cream that you can scoop off
Yeah.
and keep the organization streamlined,
Right.
put that money back into other operational places.
Exactly.
I think that's to the benefit. So you're right. The fear factor of we're taking jobs and we're optimizing because it's going to make better for the company. That's not the fear that we want in our industry, especially around these topics of nursing,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Doctors.
Right.
That's very important that we make sure we educate them, just as Heather said.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we're not here to take your job. We're here to make your life easier in the job that you have.
Right. Right. Because your job is hard.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
That's right. That nursing job is a hard.
Yeah. And we've got a workforce shortage. So when you think about you're not having as many people that are able to come in and we've got an aging population, we've got to find ways to have more patients be cared for with less resources.
100%.
So I don't know what that looks like. I'm happy that we're surrounded by all of these wonderful and amazing, intelligent individuals that are helping us come up with the tools.
The tools, they're here on the floor
Yeah.
at HIMSS 2026.
Yeah.
I'm Mike Mosquito. This is Maureen.
Nylene.
And we will be here the rest of the day shooting live streams. We hope to see you on the floor. Come find us. Maybe you'll get a spot. We'll talk to you soon. Find us on the buzzpodcast.net. This is streamed live on our YouTube and LinkedIn channels. And so we see you later on today. Keep